Wonderful. Hello and welcome to our Saturday call, everyone. We are excited to have you here. And, I kind of like that we have um, different speakers on every week. We do different trainings every week. And I really learn from them myself. And I met today's speaker when we had our very first national conference for North America in Houston. And we love that we've got this marriage going on between Zervita, the Zervita family and the Zenzino family, and how we're coming together. And to hear this man's story and what he has done and why and what he's excited about for the future is really exciting. So I want to tell you a little bit about him, um, just to know that he has actually had two things that are like near death experiences or things that should have actually killed him. And he has had to figure things out in his life of how to get that health back. And actually, not only just to get the health back, but he has so surpassed it that he has won 50 bodybuilding awards, including Mr. International, Universe, and Mr. America. So that is definitely overcoming and a winner. And here we are talking about how this merger coming about and what he's excited about for the future. So let's give him a wonderful Zenzino welcome. Hello and welcome to our Mr. Peter Nielsen. Hi, Peter.
Well, happy Saturday to everyone. Congratulations to you, Carla. We spoke about it. You prophesized about it backstage at the convention, and God will always be faithful. So, congratulations. And I just want to say hello to a lot of people that I've never seen before. My father is from Denmark, so hello to Denmark. My mom is from Italy, so I just want to say hello to everyone, and I'm super excited to be here.
Yeah, we were actually talking about that because, I started Zenzino when I was living in Denmark. And so I noticed your last name and I said, now, how is it that you have this Nilsson last name and you actually have this Scandinavian background? How was it that it all ties together with this Scandinavian?
Literally, my mom and my dad, they came together in Brooklyn, New York. That's where I'm originally from. And their parents just basically met in Europe, and the rest is history. They came over on the boat, they went to Ellis Island, and my grandmother started in a factory. She slept in an apartment with 12 people. She ended up buying a Brooklyn apartment building, a six-family apartment building, and she just lived the American dream. I mean, she really did. And it's been a beautiful ride. I'm now in Michigan, but I definitely started with a very sick childhood because there is no perfect person, and I was born with a physical challenge.
Okay, well let's start with that. So you've got some things going on from the very beginning. So what was it that actually started in you with your health issues from the beginning? What was that health issue?
For people that don't know, Crohn's disease is an autoimmune condition, and inflammation that I'll talk about later is a big cause of it. Your autoimmune system runs amok. So I missed about a year and a half of school. It's like having the stomach flu every day for the rest of your life until it goes in remission. So I went when I was very young, at 15, I was diagnosed. I went from 135 pounds down to 86 pounds in 2.5 months. The doctors didn't see me living past 20. They said, your son has an incurable condition. And I remember them talking to me while I was on the side of my bed, sitting down like I wasn't there. And I just, I refused to believe that this was just the cards that were dealt for me. So I was on a pity party for a while, Carla. And I was like, why me? And then my mom and dad started arguing because a lot of time fear turns into anger because you don't know what's going on. They started blaming each other, and then my dad became this raging alcoholic. He died at 49 years young, but he tried to take my mom out. I had to go against my earthly father, and he broke my collarbone in 3 places, gave me 6 stitches over my eye, went away for a little bit. So I feel like my spirit was torn down, and that's where my faith came in, where I just needed something way bigger than me that I can trust in. And
Mm.
then I started eating right. I started to train, and I started seeing
So
these.
so let's just stop for just a sec. So at a young age, your body is broken down, you have a family that actually has broken you down spirit wise, uh, and you're just not feeling good at all. So there was something that changed. There was something that did this,
It
that you had
was
to shift.
it was January 17th, 1977, after my dad beat us all up and threw me through a window. That, thank God, there was a fire escape on the apartment. Um, Cops came, took him again, and I went to Shore Road, which is a beautiful, one of the largest expansion bridges that separates the borough of Brooklyn to Staten Island. And it's the Hudson River opening up to the Atlantic Ocean. And it was around 2 o'clock in the morning, and I took one of my dad's shaving kits, and I was going to just, I was like, this is just not working out. As I saw the blood dripping down to the grass, I just thought I was too cowardly at the time, and I threw the razor blade into the ocean. And I just felt something that I never heard or felt before, saying, give me one more day, give me one more chance. That is when that physical challenge turned into rocket fuel. That is when that very upset young boy turned into, there was a transformer inside, that I knew there was something better than living in this dysfunctional, abusive, sick, mentally, physically, emotionally atmosphere. And that's when I wanted to take my life back. And that's when I
And,
started to
and how
turn.
old were you then, Peter?
Yeah, I was at that age, I was already diagnosed. So I was about 16 and a half, going on 17. Yeah.
Wow. So this was your defining moment of what?
Oh, absolutely. It
Okay.
was absolutely. That was where my journey of my faith started.
Hmm.
And the promise keeper, our creator, has never let me down. And that is when I wanted to emulate his love, his light, his joy, his peace. And the crazy, amazing, and beautiful thing about life is change, because when people have heard about my childhood, which I would say was very hopeless, when people ask me what I do for a living now, I'm in the hope business. So nothing's wasted in God's economy. And it's beautiful to be able to then be used, if you allow yourself to and get out of your own way, to help other people that are going through certain things. When
Mhm.
someone talks to me about war and they've never been in war, they have no right to talk to me about it. When a doctor that never has Crohn's disease, and I'm just a number, is telling me how I feel, he's lost me. So I didn't want to be the poster child for digestive health nor Crohn's disease, but I allowed myself to be, I surrendered, and I allowed myself to be used. In my life, for anyone that's listening that's going through anything, it's temporary. It's a circumstance that is only going to strengthen you, and it will catapult you if you allow it to. But it's the person who I am today is because of the experiences that I've been through. And either you become the victor or you become the victim. And I have a sibling who I love dearly. She got stuck in that moment. She rereads, rewrites that same chapter
Mm.
over and over and over. And so many of us do, and our lives are a vapor. So
Mm.
we need to get it together today.
So let's talk about what, because it was like a transformation. You worked on your mental health, you worked on your physical health, you worked on your emotional health, and you worked on your spiritual health to actually reshape you. And you got strong in each and every one of those areas. So what were you doing? Because I know nutrition has meant a lot to you. The body, I mean, you couldn't have won 50 bodybuilding championships without being
It's a great,
focused here on
it's,
your health. So
yeah.
tell us a little bit about these different journeys.
Well, if I could give, um, I have a TV show that's in 110 countries called Peter's Principles, and it's always news you could use. So I just want to give you just a couple of words for you to marinate on today. But I needed to see myself. I needed to have a crystal clear vision. When I was sick, I needed to see myself healed. When I was going at Kennedy Airport to go to Belize, Central America, to compete against, 88 countries for the Mr. Universe competition, I needed to see myself with that trophy behind me raised high. And if you can't see it, you're not going to be able to achieve it. And then you need to speak life into yourself. You need to champion your own life, because what we focus on this morning is how we live this afternoon. And what we speak, good or bad, we are prophesizing our marriage, our health, our finances. So no one's going to eat for you. No one's going to train for you. And it starts and it ends with you. So after I got my head out of my butt and I figured out that this pity party is exhausting everyone, they don't want to hear my garbage. I needed to put my chest back, and I needed to work, put in the sweat equity. And I started to see improvements. Journal it, document what you're eating. Exercise is the best medicine. I've been off of medicine for over 25 years. I haven't had red meat or dairy products for 40 years. This doesn't just happen. If you invest in yourself now as you get older, your body's going to love on you.
Mhm.
So, I'm not that smart in the sense of like, this isn't rocket science, but what you need to do is have alone time, soul search. What do you truly want? Do you want to live on the sidelines, or do you truly want to live a purposeful life? Because I believe with all my heart, we were born on purpose to live a purpose, and there's no one like you. So if anyone could retain, to have a vision, to speak life, to believe again, to truly believe in your own stuff. How can you? How can you sell anything? How can you build a team if you're not living it? We're in the wellness business. How can you do this if you're not living a wellness life? So it's something that has happened. And when people say, how did you do this? I just got out of my own way. Some people call it a check in your spirit. Some people call it your gut. Some people call it your intuition. I call it the Holy Spirit. And all I know, it's my compass, it's my GPS. It will tell me the difference between right and wrong. It never lies to me, no matter how many zeros are at the end of the check. If this guy up there is telling me no, I don't touch it, because we're human and we have this little thing called free will, and we could all go around that same mountain 400 extra times, but we don't have to, if that makes sense.
It does make sense. And I think for us that are have been working in Zinzino and we hear all these doctors and they say the science is the science, you need to find the truth. So when you are out there looking, whether it's spiritual, whether it's for your body, whether it's your nutrition, you find what is the truth. And I know you have said it's simple, it's not rocket science. You are working on your body, you are eating healthy, and you are studying the things so that you know what you're doing. And actually, that guided you uh, to actually how you got involved in Zervita by
Yeah, it really
following
did.
that along.
It really did. And, what I will say, living in America is we're in one of the richest countries in the world, but we're mostly nutritionally illiterate. And it's not even our fault because when we go to school and our kids go to school, they're more studying social studies and algebra and geometry than they are macronutrients, amino acids, essential fats. So I think that we've come a long way. We have a long way to go. But with Zervita, it was almost 13 years ago. I was in a Starbucks coffee house having a production meeting for my TV show. This guy came in, he was almost 7 foot tall. And he looked at me and I was like, oh man, like, is there going to be trouble here? So he passed me. And the story was he went into the restroom and put cold water on his face because I've done the Today Show for 15 years. He saw me on the Today Show that morning, and his wife said, you know something? I know you're a headhunter for Zervita. You're looking for someone. That would be your guy. And he lives somewhere in the area, in the same state. So 45 minutes later, he walks into Starbucks and he basically tapped me on the shoulder. I was with 12 people. And 2 weeks later, we were in another Starbucks coffee and he was talking about Zervita's mission and Zervita's love for people and the leadership were humble and their founding principles. And then I basically, 3 weeks from there, we went to meet the founders and the CEO of Zervita, Jay Schaefer and different people. And I spent 2 days there. And when I was coming back, I actually went with a pastor friend of mine, and he said, "So what do you think?" He says, "The company's new; they're not really making a lot of money. What do you?" I says, I just feel God's calling me to help them. Never did I think that I would watch this company grow to well over $100 million, and we just would build this big community, do 90-day challenges. We have, our product, which is an all-in-one antioxidant, a wonderful a product called Zeal that we now are mixing with your beautiful oil, and I'll talk about that later. So it's been a beautiful ride with Zervita, and then I became the face of their fitness and wellness as their coach. And I had this idea of building a community on social media, and every person that bought a product would get it, an email and inviting them to this exclusive community of like-minded people. And it grew from a couple of hundred to 10,000 to 100,000 to thousands of people, where we literally have taken cruises where people that are winning 90-day challenges. And it's not just for losing weight. Wherever you are on your journey, you want to be that best version of yourself. And I love the word transformation, because transformation in the dictionary says making a radical change in some area of your life. And that is an awesome thing. So when you said it before, yes, for over 30 years, I've been in the transformation business, and I've seen tens upon thousands of people in Zervita transform their lives mentally, emotionally, spiritually, financially. And I am super excited on what the future brings. And we became so good at what we're doing at Zervita that we basically started something called Zeal for Meals. So for every purchase, you're feeding people that you probably will never see. And to this date, we have fed 1.8 million people. And we've also now adopted, like 4 children. So it's affecting people all over the world. And that's what I love when you are in that hope business and when you are helping people find their purpose. if people feel good from the inside out, then they want to get on the mountaintops and pay it forward. And that's where we're at. And that's why I'm super excited about Zinzino and the culture of Zinzino and Zervita align so beautifully. And again, I believe that God has got his hand on it. And that's why I'm on this call today.
And we felt that, down at the Houston event, we talked about it, saying it feels like we're at this wedding, we're at the wedding rehearsal, and at the bride, they've got, her family, and the groom has their family. And how are they going to be when they merge as one family? And yet we got along like we had been family for the longest time. And actually, the missions that we have, the purpose that we have, how Zinzino has been helping people. When they get that health protocol and the changes, it's a transformation. And the mission that Zinzino has of really making that difference, we're on that mission to that 100 million. And I loved hearing Jay, how he aligns in the same way with Art and Dog and Orion, and how they meet together. And it was really fun. So in the week after, was it 1 week or 2 weeks after, we went to the annual event. And when I talked to Jay there, and he was like, you know what? He said, I've been calling all the Zervita people saying, we just went from college ball to the pros because but we're so much in alignment. And we're ready for it. They were, we're ready for that. So we know it's super close. And I know there's people on that are just waiting and ready to hit the ground running. But how we're going to work together in that future, we totally align. We felt that family feeling. And to hear the things that you have been passionate about and what your goals are, that's what we're excited about for the future. Because when you heard about Zinzino, when you heard about things, Peter, you started looking into things. I know you. What?
You're so right. I'm glad that you asked the question, and I had to. It was a deal breaker. I had to meet Orion and Doug. I needed to look in their eyes. I needed to hear them speak. When I heard Orion speak to Zervita Nation in Houston, and then Doug spoke, I got on the plane and I knew that, wow, this is so different. Their passion, their focus, their vision to inspire, it was speaking volumes to me. And how I see the future is, as I started this, there is no perfect person. And whether people on this call are, having trouble with arthritis, heart disease, diabetes, inflammatory bowel disease like me, Crohn's disease, colitis, it's all wrapped around inflammation. So when I have a master's in nutrition. So when I'm looking at this and I'm reading this and I'm seeing some of the testimonies, it's mind-boggling, because you take something like this that has turmeric, rosemary, ginger, all anti-inflammatory, all these minerals and vitamins and antioxidants, guarana, which is the distance cousin of caffeine, that's going to give you more clarity, more focus, more energy, with something that's going to bring down inflammation. And it's not done by guess, but it's done by test. You can't afford not to get on this choo-choo train. What do they say? Thee who hesitates is last. Mm-hmm. So if I could say to each and every one of you, it's like, this is not a dress rehearsal. We only get one shot at this life. And all I know is that after, the last death experience, I was with my kids, and a hole perforated in my ileum, my small intestines. As I got to the hospital, my body was shutting down. I went into septic shock.
Mm.
And I just came back from doing a centerfold with Men's Health in San Francisco. March 7th, 2001 at 2:14 in the morning, they were pronouncing me gone. And a doctor who I love, who's no longer with us, said, I'm not giving up on this guy. They worked on me for 8 hours. They put defibrillators on me 5 different times. I was gone for more than 3 minutes at one time. And all I can say is that our creator is amazing. And no one has to tell me any more about the miracles that are being performed as we speak in our lives. So as we walk forward, get your enthusiasm back, get your passion back. Let 2025 be the best year ever. As I said before, I think we're all smart. All of our corporate teams are smart, but we're not that smart to bring Orion, Doug, Jay, your field, our field, all our mission statements coming together. Like you said it so eloquently. I didn't know how I was going to react to how Zinzino people were. And when I got on the plane, I said to my wife, I said, I felt like I saw long lost cousins that I haven't seen in 20 years, and it was a reunion. So, sometimes you just got to stop overthinking things and just let go of the wheel, and you be amazed on what is going to happen. And that's what excites me. We all have our talents, and let's all allow those talents to be used to help other people. There's no one like each and every one of you. So as we go through this Saturday, speak life into yourself, champion your own life. Know that the best is yet to come. And it's not just me saying it, but all I'm waiting for. And there's 73 million viewers in the United States and over 110 countries that watch Peter's Principles each and every week. As soon as that ink hits the paper, there's going to be an explosion of excitement and of people, because I want to use the television show, the podcast, the radio show, social media to just tell the world, wake up. We have a lot of the answers to live a more quality filled life. And I'll just leave with this before I turn it back to you, Carla. No one can live a purpose-filled life unhealthy. Your most valuable thing you could ever do is take care of the one model year that you have. You're not going to get another one. You're not going to get a million different chances. Sometimes there isn't a second go around. Sometimes you don't have a retake. Sometimes it's now or never. So respect, honor, take care of your temple, because as you live, you want to be healthy. Carla just got married. She wants to be healthy to go skiing and swimming and play with and love with the people that, you're blessed to have. But if you're unhealthy, you can't do that. You can't. You can have all the money in the world, but you cannot buy your health back.
So that's like mic drop, Peter. That's like mic drop. I mean, if people aren't excited about our future now after hearing that, there's something wrong, because we are together on this mission. And I love that you are going to be using all of this to get the truth out there. The truth to help people to get your health back physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually, and to really fulfill every one of those areas. And there's so many people that need it. Peter, I do feel like we were family from the start. And now, having your Danish background, coming back to a Scandinavian company, there's something involved with that too. Well, I'm going to let everybody unmute here. And thank you for joining us. Thank you, Peter, for taking the time out of your busy schedule to be on here. We're looking forward to the future and the marriage we have, not just my own, but the marriage with our whole family, the Zervita and Zinzino family. So thank you, Peter.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a great day.
Thanks, everyone.
Amazing.
Thank you. Wonderful story.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you all. See you next week.